A Maryland woman deported to Vietnam. Now her husband is pushing to bring her home. Why he says she deserves another shot.
Plus, an award-winning rapper accused of being a foreign agent is now headed to prison.
And Thanksgiving, look, it is less than a week away now, and the season of giving is in full swing. In today's Where's the Money, what you need to know to make your end-of-year donations count.
Good morning, and thank you very much for streaming with us. WSA 9 Plus, I'm Wisdom Martin.
I'm Allison Seymour, and we have so much to get to. But first, let's get you out the door with weather and traffic. We'll start with meteorologist Jonathan Myers.
All right, and this morning we are starting with clouds and temperatures in the 40s once again. It's carbon copy gray, limited sunshine and cool for today. Highs in the, well, seasonable 50s. And the next weather maker moves in with showers for tonight into very early tomorrow morning. There's some clouds at the bus stop this morning, about 50 degrees, about 49 we're saying. Recess, it's gray skies at 53, 56 for going home, and a lot of clouds as well. But there are signs of warmer air to come, but there's some rain in between, and it could impact your weekend plans. I'm going to break down what that means for your weekend and when it's best to get outside and hang those holiday lights. That's all up in my weather impact forecast in just about 15 minutes. We'll see you right back here for that. Now I'm going to send things over to Terry Hornstein with our traffic impact.
Thank you, Jonathan. Unfortunately, traffic has started to pick up this morning, but there is some good news, I guess, as you head out of the door. We talked about this earlier, but it's 66 in the eastbound direction right outside of the Beltway. There was a crash out there, and it was really slowing things down. All of the express lanes were blocked. Several lanes of the general purpose lanes were blocked as well. But as you can see now, it has lifted. Traffic starting to move along, so that's great news as you head out on this Friday morning. Speeds now clocking in at 22 miles an hour, so still a bit slow moving out there, but a lot better than it was earlier on. Also, keeping a very close eye on this one, 395 northbound, the ramp to the 3rd Street Tunnel is blocked. That ramp there is blocked. You can see very heavy delays in both your east and your westbound directions. Of course, we've reached out to police on this one. We'll let you know what they tell us. Guys?
Terry, thank you. Well, this morning, the husband of a Maryland mother and wife is fighting to bring her back to Hagerstown after she was deported to Vietnam.
Melissa Tran, a Hagerstown business owner, was taken into custody in May and released in October after a judge ruled that she was being held unnecessarily. She rejoined her family but still faced deportation. Tran's record includes a 2001 check theft case from when she was a teenager. Her husband argues that aside from that decades-old offense, she's been an upstanding member of her community.
She's so sad, and she only want, around take care of the kid. But now, she can't do that.
No mother should be separated from their 4 children, especially when 2 are still in elementary school. It just isn't right.
The Department of Homeland Security says an immigration judge issued her a final order of removal in 2004. So that's over 20 years ago. She had over 20 years to leave and receive full due process. That's what the judge said. But her attorneys say Vietnam refused to issue any travel documents for decades. We'll follow this case for you, of course. In Fairfax County, the driver that slammed into an American Girl store in Tyson's Corner Mall has now been cited for reckless driving. At least one person is coming forward to say that that car hit them too. Brianna, who asked us not to show their face on camera, relies on a motorized wheelchair and says that they were buying a present for their partner when they were hit.
I started walking out. Next thing I know, a car's in my leg, and I just started screaming. I just got hit by a car. There's a car in my leg. I'm trying to wrap my brain around how did I get hit by a car on the sidewalk.
Now, they say that that electronic wheelchair, that motorized wheelchair that they rely on is badly damaged, and now they're worried about how they'll get around and the cost of the repair. Police say the driver went around a stopped vehicle without checking for oncoming traffic, hit another car, and then accelerated towards the front of the American Girl store.
7:34 is the time right now. The daughter of former National Intelligence Director John Negroponte has been convicted of murder for the second time. Now, a jury found 32-year-old Sofia Negroponte guilty of second-degree murder in the death of Yusef Rasmussen. This is the second time she's been tried and convicted in his death. The Maryland Court of Appeals overturned her original conviction in January of last year. Negroponte is accused of stabbing Rasmussen after an argument at a Rockville apartment back in 2020. She is set to be sentenced in February. In Prince George's County, a Hyattsville police officer is under arrest and on unpaid leave after he was accused of sexually abusing a child. A grand jury indicted Officer Jonathan Mung yesterday. Documents show the alleged abuse happened sometime within the last year. Police are not saying how old the child was. Mung has been on the force for 5 years, and in a statement, city leaders say they are cooperating with the investigation.
7:35 now, and this morning crews are investigating what sparked an electrical fire on a Capitol Hill trolley yesterday. Now, these are the trolleys that are used by Congress members and their staff. They connect their offices to the Capitol. Capitol Police say 2 officers, they were treated for smoke inhalation. No passengers were hurt. Grammy-winning rapper Pras Michel has been sentenced to 14 years in federal prison. He was convicted of funneling millions in illegal foreign contributions to Barack Obama's 2012 campaign and acting as an unregistered agent of a foreign government. Pras also allegedly worked to shut down a DOJ probe linked to Malaysian billionaire Joe Low, who is still a fugitive. The trial in D.C. included testimony from actor Leonardo DiCaprio and former Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Pras was a founding member of the Fugees, along with Lauryn Hill and Wyclef Jean. Now, his team calls the punishment disproportionate to the crime and says that he will appeal. Every morning, we ask the question, where's the money to help you find ways to save? But today, we're talking about ways that you can best give.
Many people try to give back around the holidays, but giving to charity could actually benefit you as well. We're going to start with the tax breaks here. Take a moment to itemize your deductions. A standardized deduction is easier, but itemizing may give you an even bigger benefit.
If you're still sticking with standard deductions, you can start seeing those benefits next year, because that's when standard filers can claim a new charitable deduction up to $1,000 for cash gifts that go directly to a qualifying public charity. Make sure you get and keep a receipt.
Now, whether or not you want to take advantage of these awards, there are still a few safety practices that you want to keep in mind. Don't donate over the phone or give out your personal information until you confirm the organization is legit. The IRS Tax Exemption Organization Search is a great tool, Allison.
You're on alert for fraud. The IRS recommends avoiding charities that ask for donations in the form of gift cards or wire transfers. Scammers can use names also that sound similar to well-known charities to try to throw you off. So just pay close attention.
All right, well, with cooler weather rolling in, many of you are bracing for higher utility bills and surprise home repairs as well.
I live in fear of the sound of the heater just going out.
I know.
This morning, we're helping you find ways to save on things like heating, gas, and water this winter. Joining us now, Patrick Garner, Operations Manager at Cardinal Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. How are you doing today?
We're doing great, thank you, but we don't want to go broke this winter, so let's start with this. What are the most common winter-related issues that you see in homes, and more importantly, how can people catch them before they get really expensive?
100%. What you had just said, everybody always fears it. You don't need to be afraid. You don't need to be nervous. There's always things that we can do ahead of time. Now, just moving into the holiday season, know that your system, it's going to be under more strain than it usually is. Way more people in the home, you're cooking, doors are opening and closing. These are all things that could throw up some issues and some alarms. So, some easy preventable things to save that money. Changing out your filters regularly. Always check those. I know it sounds simple, but it's the one thing that we always have to remind people of. And then there's little things, making sure that your air vents aren't sealed up or closed over with furniture or luggage or something like that. These are simple tips that you can get ahead of before you call a pro, before you get scared.
All right, so this is one that I've been dealing with because I usually leave my heater off until it gets like 15 degrees. A lot of people crank up the heat in the moment that it gets cold, like really cold. What are some smarter ways to stay warm without running up your gas bill or your electric bill? Is there an optimum temperature you should keep your heater on once it does start to get cold consistently?
Well, my wife and I haven't figured out what that is because we have a different idea of what optimal is.
But wait a minute, don't all husbands and wives have a different idea?
Yes.
I mean, she's in charge, so who knows?
That part.
I will tell you, a lot of people seem to think, hey, I'm not in the house. A great way to save some money is to lower it all the way down. I'm telling you, not the move. Get a smart thermostat and set it around where you like it to be at, 70, 69, wherever have you. And while you're outside of the house, sure, you can lower it a couple of degrees. But the mistake common people make is turning it all the way down, and then when they get home, that system's having to work that much harder to get back to that comfort level.
Oh, so don't turn it off is what you're saying, because that's what I've been doing. I've been turning
Hey,
it
don't
off.
do that. No more.
Okay, so Allison, you were
Yeah.
right. When the kids are at school and my wife is at work, don't turn it off.
Don't ever turn it off. Plus, it's unkind. Okay, when it comes to when it comes to plumbing, frozen pipes, they're a huge concern this time of year. What preventative steps should we as homeowners try to take right now? And for once and for all, what is the debate over like keeping the faucet open a little bit? Because I try to do it every year, but I'm not sure that I'm doing it right.
So that's a great question, honestly. And those are the calls that we get constantly when it comes to the plumbing. First off, the most common thing that I see during this the cold season are customers who have hose bibs outside, and they're the older style. They're not the frost-proof hose bibs. Water gets locked into those, and that's when ice starts to form inside your pipes, and it breaks and it bursts. Those are the issues. You can leave a small drip running if you'd like, but these days, honestly, they make efficient models that you don't need to do that. It creates that air gap. It's not just frozen pipes at this time of the year, though. I'm not sure. Have you guys ever heard of Brown Friday?
No.
No.
So Brown Friday, not unsimilar to Black Friday,
Okay.
is actually the most busy time of the year for plumbers. And it's the same reason that your HVAC system might have an issue. It's under a lot of new strain, a lot of people coming into that house, and our phones are ringing nonstop when that happens.
Wow.
When you said Brown Friday and plumbing, I thought it was something else. So I'm glad you took us away from that.
I'm
We'd
not
like
gonna
to
take us
thank
there.
you. Don't do that. Not on a Friday during the holidays. Thank you so much for joining us. These are excellent tips.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much
Okay.
for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You were thinking it. I just said it. Wisdom Martin.
7:42 is the time right now. Hey, still ahead at 7, later on. The Washington Spirit are hoping to bring home the championship trophy this weekend. Simone D'Alba live from San Jose, California. She's gonna give us some a little tease right here what we can expect coming up all the way from kicking it in Cali. Simone.
You guys would make me follow Brown Friday, but listen, I'm here live in San Jose at PayPal Park, and we are talking all things Washington Spirit and all eyes on Trinity Rodman. Her contract is up in the air right now. Will she stay or will she go? She's been the heartbeat of the Spirit for so long. We're going to talk about the NWSL's bid to keep her. Coming back after the break.
All righty, welcome back in. So we've heard of athleisure, right? Well, how about athlelegance?